Word from the top. Wiggly Flip says you're up. They want you to put this on and take it pro. Take it pro, Kyle. You go get him, Tiger.
When did you get out of a straitjacket? Thank you, Wiggly Flip, please. Thank you.
Billy Mitchell, welcome back to We Talk Games. Evidently, Walter Day has informed me that we are doing video follow-up interviews with previous guests on We Talk Games. You were on with Walter before, and
when was that?
That was why you kids? This is the big induction ceremony, the Big Bang with the induction, the first official Big Bang party for the International Video Game Hall of Fame and Museum.
Things are actually going very well. The launch party was last year, and this is the first of many baby steps that'll happen. Any great Hall of Fame that you're trying to emulate, they all had these initial baby steps. Again, this is the blood, sweat, and tears of the beginning. This is what creates the future. And there's a price to be paid in energy, time, resources, and that's what's being done right here, right now. It's the foundation for what'll be a video game Hall of Fame, one that I believe will eventually be on a par or greater than the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Now, you're not here to set any records, except for probably the most visits to a booth.
Yeah, I think if I shake any more hands, my hand's going to fall off. But no, it's actually an atmosphere. It's more of a building atmosphere. And it's not actually a contest, which would be very conducive. A contest surrounds the player. A contest surrounds what it is the player can do. But an event like this is where everybody, the players as well as all the organizers, where they're going to take an idea. And that's what's going on here today.
Any new records that you set recently, or anything in the works, plans? I know you don't like to discuss a lot of your secret ones.
I need to know if you can ask me that same question in about 24 hours.
No. But I can air it.
Well, then I will tell you right now.
Oh, very good.
I have once again regained my title for Donkey Kong.
Oh, a score of 1,062,800 in Donkey Kong.
And in Donkey Kong Jr.
Oh, 1,270,900 in Donkey Kong Jr.
Yes.
Your Kung Fu is very good.
What do you think about Baby Pac-Man? Were you a fan of that one, or got the pinball element to get your power pellets?
I guess Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man, they took so much of my time that, no, I left the babies for someone else.
Very good. What do you think about pinball? Were you ever a big pinball aficionado?
Oh yeah. Before video games, I was a pinball. I was the best. I beat all my friends.
Wow.
And when video games came out and they started playing video games, me not liking new things, I just let them play, and I didn't play. But as time went on, eventually I just couldn't hold myself back anymore, and I started playing. And I guess I first started playing Donkey Kong and Centipede.
Okay.
Speaking of Centipede and Donkey Kong, at the first Life magazine gathering, since we're doing a reunion here,
right,
about a week prior to coming to Life magazine, I set a world record on Centipede. And then, of course, at Life magazine, I set a world record on Donkey Kong. So there went me forever down the world of competitive video gaming.
All right, Billy Mitchell, thank you very much for joining us on We Talk Games. Great to see you again. I salute your tie once again.
Thank you very much.
Todd Rogers, welcome to We Talk Games. Great to have you here. Now, have you seen me? Have you ever been on a milk carton before?
It's me, Mario. It's me, Todd. Oh, well, usually they say I look like Ron Jeremy, but on there, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm laughing and doing something funny.
I have a Ron Jeremy me that shows up when I'm like doing Mario Kart and things like this.
Interesting.
Now, you hold a lot of records, not just in video game high scores, but also in like firsts of being the first to, I think, have an endorsement or joysticks or something of that nature.
Well, there's several years ago. Of course, I'm credited as being the first paid professional gamer. I worked for 42 software publishers. I beat a computer on Dragster. That was a perfect run on Dragster. I hold the 85-hour world time, 85 hours nonstop on one continual game. I have over 2,000 records. So there's many things that I have.
Now, your achievements are not just limited to classic arcade games. You're also involved in the newer titles as well.
Correct. I have records on 24 platforms, meaning classic console, classic arcade, modern console, and then of course modern gaming. PC gaming. I play stuff on Facebook, for Christ's sake. It's just.
What about some of your racing game? Well, you mentioned Dragster, but what about some of the more modern racing games?
Well, like at this show, I'm playing the Crazy Taxi Long Jump. I'm playing it blindfolded and deaf.
Is that right?
Correct. But last night in my cab or the hotel, I was playing actually blindfolded deaf and with one hand. So I don't know if I want to incorporate that in playing against the public, but I figured since I've been doing this, like at the E3 show, I played Dragster blindfolded, but I couldn't do it deaf because you had to hear the countdown.
Exactly.
And to play against me, you had to bring in a can of food. If you beat me, you made $100.
Very good.
And you know how big E3 is. I mean, I could have potentially lost a lot of money, but it didn't happen. Here, the money that's raised will go half towards the International Video Game Hall of Fame Museum, and the other half will go towards the blind and deaf organizations, whatever they choose to.
Wow, that's fantastic. Now, I don't know if you know this, Todd, but actually in England, in their Mac magazines, which is, of course, Mac is huge in England, I'm actually considered the godfather of pro wrestling podcasts. Now, I understand you're also involved in pro wrestling.
Well, I started watching wrestling in 1968 as a young child, and I wrestled in 1980, and I kickboxed in '86.
Wow.
So, and then things sort of morphed. I've always had the passion of watching wrestling or even being involved with wrestling in any capacity. When I moved down to Florida, I worked hand in hand with an organization called FCW. I don't work directly for them. I work, alongside them, promoting the product. FCW is owned by the WWE. Vince McMahon. So the FCW is a training ground for development for the WWE, and a lot of the wrestlers that are on TV now, like Jake Hager, who is Jack Swagger. Just a lot of the wrestlers that started in this organization are now on TV, and I didn't mean to interrupt, but I'm saying in a duration of promoting their product, I had the opportunity to buy into an independent organization of my own, which is ACW Underground, and I'm partners with a man named Howard Ward, and me and him promote. We have Big Vito as our booker, and Ralph Mosca, and they work with the local talent to promote their name, and we work with people from TNA and WWE on occasion.
Very good. And what was your favorite pro wrestling video game? Any come to mind? From Exciting Hour all the way up to the...
I mean, there's so many different wrestling games out there. I mean, for me to speculate one is really hard. No, seriously. I couldn't put a finger on anyone because they all have something that draws you in.
I can. Fire Pro 6-Man Scramble for the Saturn.
And why is that?
Well, because it was the first game where I think they had a fully developed cause system. Now, although it was entirely in Japanese, I quickly tried to get game facts that I could at that time from like news groups and things like this, and the internet was around at that time, and learn what each element of that was, and to have such a granular capabilities of developing a cause such as stamina during bloodshed, I thought this is the type of game I really can get into, and I would take months and months just to develop a wrestler that I thought was good and just let the computer wrestle itself. It was also built some of the most exciting matches. Like, if you let the computer fight itself, sometimes it's not that entertaining. So you
find yourself gravitating more towards that game than any of the current ones?
I think so. I think that still holds its place, even over like Fire Pro Returns and things like that.
Because it's because of the gameplay, not the actual graphics of the game itself.
Exactly.
Because now
and I love the 2D.
Games that have better eye candy, but the gameplay is not there,
Exactly. Thank you, Todd, for being on We Talk Games. Appreciate it. Yep.
And I'm Todd Rogers, the king of video games, and you're watching We Talk Games.
All right, Kyle, Big Bang 2010 International Video Game Hall of Fame and Museum. We Talk Games, Ottumwa. All eyes were on Ottumwa. Great week here at the International Video Game Hall of Fame and Museum for the Big Bang 2010. What do you think of it, Kyle?
What?
I said, and what do you think of the Big Bang 2010, Kyle?
These things don't work. I can't hear anything.
Whammo!